Welcome to Real Bass Lessons. Today I'd like to teach you some technique. I want to do some focus practice on some technique that'll help you better play the instrument. We're going to reach a little higher level today too. This is not really a beginning one, but you'll be able to do it. We're going to play an etude. And some people say, what do you mean? What are etudes? Well, an etude is a melodious study. And why should we be working on those? Well, most of us practice our scales and arpeggios, but sometimes we don't know what to do. Students say, what do I do now? How do I make music out of it? Well, you need to work on etudes. Etudes is almost a lost art. An etude uses scales and arpeggios, probably even more so, or definitely more repetition than a normal song would, but it sounds like a song, so it sounds good and it's fun to do. This etude is called A Major Number 1. It's from the book 12 Keys to Success. It's a little bit of a long one, but there's only specific 3 or 4 parts, so I'm going to teach until we work on them, okay? Here's the first section. Get your bass out and play along with me. Here we go. That's the first phrase. Let's do that a bunch with the metronome. Ready, play. Over and over. Cool, here's the whole phrase, or here's the whole shape of that first phrase. 2, 3. Good, let's look at that second half. Good, let's play that a bunch over and over. 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. Cool. Now there's a whole bunch of ways to finger, really anything on the bass, but I recommend you simply copy what I'm doing for right now, okay? And if you say, Jim, that's really hard, well, maybe you need to go back and work on some of that those scales and arpeggios in the cycle. But most of you can handle this, I'm sure. Let's learn that phrase. Here we go. 2, ready, play. Again, 3, 4. Cool. Now look where we ended up. The 5 chord. Sure. One more time on that phrase, real slow. Good, let's play a little bit more in time. By the way, this is how you learn. Just repetition, repetition, repetition. You may not have it right the first time, but just keep doing it till yours sounds like mine. If you need to, just go back and look at every little finger that I played here, and that's fine. Here we go. Repetition, though, is the key. 3, 4. Again. Good. Now the next phrase, here we go. That phrase is in E. 2, 3, and then it goes on. Let's do that again. Good. Let's put those first 2 phrases together now then. Ready? Play. Cool. Again. 3, 4. Cool. Now the next part gets a little more challenging. We're still in this E stuff, but watch this. It's an arpeggio, just an E arpeggio, but we play a bunch of different sort of variations on it. Let's do that slow. And yes, I know there's a bunch of other fingers. You can do more stuff down here, but I feel like this shift puts us in the right spot. Again. In time. Keep looping it. From the beginning of the song. I know you may have forgotten it, but that's right. You'll remember it. Here we go. Very cool. Let's learn that part up there. This here, it goes up, and then sure, it's an E7. Again, let's loop it a little bit. And again. By the way, I should mention here, of course you're not going to be able just to pick this up the first time. You're going to have to stop the little thing and go over it and over it and figure it out. This is exactly the way I teach my students. And guess what it does besides teaching the song? It develops ear training. It helps their ears go, what is that? What is it? They look at their eyes and they start to see the shapes. I get too many people on watching my lessons and going, Jim, make it easier. Give me tab or slow it down. Folks, learn how to play it like this. We have to develop our ears at some point. Okay? Let's do that from here going up. Again. 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 I think I should tell you, excuse me, I had to work on that phrase right there, oh, so many hours to be able to do it right at a nice fast tempo. And I'm talking about like, I easily spent 6 to 8 hours on that piece. Not all in one setting, but I got to where I'd spend an hour. I'd set the little clock and I'd go, I'm going to do this for an hour nonstop. I'd get the metronome going, I'd go. Screwed it up that time. Good. You know what I learned? I knew this before, but I taught it myself. You know, I learned my own lesson there, and that is anything you focus on, it becomes a strength. So that part used to be real challenging for me in this song. Then I worked on it for hours, and I'm talking about I'd say it took me a week. I probably spent 8 hours in a week doing just that phrase over and over. That's now the fun part, the easy part. I love it. Let's do it again, nice and slow. From here, going up. 3 and 4 and... Again. Good. Guess where we end up? Back in A again. Now, up here it goes like this. We're in F sharp, the relative minor to A. Let's do that phrase again. What was it? Sorry. Again. know that you're not going to be able to pick it up and remember it all this fast, but you can repeat this thing over and over and learn it. And by the way, as I mentioned earlier, guys are sort of like, show me the music. Folks, this is learning. This is learning. There's nothing easy about it. If it were easy, everybody'd do it. And if you could just watch this video and play it perfectly, well, you don't need this video. You already play better than that. Okay? Let's try from the very beginning of the song. And you'll stumble, but let's find it. 3 and 4 and... Very cool. Now, this is an F sharp minor. Look. Let's try it again. F sharp. Back to E major, E dominant. Let's do that again. F sharp. Sorry, played it wrong note. Let's do it again. By the way, if you're saying, man, this is just too big of a thing for me to learn, well, how bad do you want to learn it? You can, I assure you. It's just going to take one little chunk at a time. Here we go. And probably a lot more than we're doing it here, because it took me a lot more than that. This is just a lesson. I'm showing you how to do it. If you were sitting here beside me, we would probably do this whole lesson, or no, we'd do it exactly this way, but then we'd spend an hour afterwards practicing on each one of those little sections by themselves. So that's what you need to do. Let's do that F sharp again. 3, 4. Cool, now we're back to E. This part goes like this. And then it moves. Let's do that again. Again, I'll try to do it right. One more time. Good, now it shifts. Back to an A position. Let's look at that little phrase by itself. And their next phrase starts there, which is an A, but it starts on the third of the chord. So, and then here's this one. Cool, this is kind of a long one. Let's do this again. That was much better fingering. Let's do it again. Good, and the very last phrase. 3, 4. Cool, now the very last two notes before this arpeggio, they should be up here, but I don't have enough frets. It should be this. Bing. arpeggio. So instead of go nothing, I just do them here. So it's cool. Quite a mouthful, I know, but you'll learn it if you want to. I'm going to play it through a few times now, all the way through so you can hear the whole phrase and just hear the whole song, okay? Let me see if I can do it at this tempo here. Sure, that's pretty good. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty cool. I've used this at a lot. I've got a lot of these etudes, but I've used this one as a little performance piece many times. And I mean, in front of all different crowds, in front of bass players, in front of crowds of 2,000 or 3,000 people. And every time I walk out and just go real quiet, boy, it draws everybody's attention. Nothing like playing a little classical etude type piece a piece of music to really draw people's attention in. Let's do it one time. I think I'll try it quite a bit faster. Let's see. That's 102. Let's go about, I don't know, 180-ish. There's 182. 1, 2, ready, play. Love it. Get to work on this. You will like this if you'll spend the time to learn it. I promise. Real slow, real patient, step by step. Use your ears. And of course, it's a video. Use your eyes. You can see my fingering, okay? Fired up. Get to it.